Hello there, Toonami faithful. I'm Black and Fist, not Tom, unfortunately. But if you've been keeping up, there's been some Toonami news that's been going around, and there's hasn't been that much Toonami news since because Toonami's was freaking canceled almost 4 years ago. But there's been some interesting stuff going on in the past couple weeks in relation to Toonami. Some of them are like extremely optimistic. I mean, they're almost too hard to believe, pretty much, on some of this news. But essentially, it's saying that on March 30th, Toonami is coming back, and I think if you've seen one of my previous videos or my first anniversary of Toonami's cancellation, I always thought, and since then, that Toonami was never coming back. In fact, there still is a chance that Toonami's not coming back. However, what is interesting about this is that there is a slight, very minute possibility that Toonami might come back in one way or another. So that is very interesting because, Toonami was pretty much, it's buried, it's dead, But now let's get to what the rumors coming to and how I think a lot of people jumped the gun. But here, I don't know the guy's name, but some guy who was involved with Toonami or in relation to Toonami somehow on his Twitter announced that tune in to Cartoon Network March 30th, 8 p.m. because there's going to be a big surprise, and that's all I can say for now. Of course, if you have Toonami on the mind, you're going to immediately think, oh, wait a minute, that's Toonami, He's talking about Toonami, it's coming back. Now, I'm going to go into a little history here. Now, I think if this happened, like, maybe a year ago, somewhere around a year ago, I don't think no one would have taken it seriously because, as we all know, Cartoon Network as a channel has been decaying, for a long time. Since 2004, it's been going just down, 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 and I think Cartoon Network hit rock bottom, like the lowest point, by the end of like 2009, early 2010. That was like rock bottom. However, not everything is bad as it seems, because although Cartoon Network's been messing up for years, it seems that they're making a recovery in recent months, and they're definitely improving their stuff. They're definitely wanting to get their viewership back, because for the longest time Cartoon Network's been now this video isn't going to be about Cartoon Network, but it's important to what we're going to talk about Toonami, because for the longest time Cartoon Network's been devolving, but in recent months they've been trying to get their unique viewership back, because for the longest time Cartoon Network's been wanting to chase and get on the bandwagon and like leech off other channels or networks' viewership. Get on the reality show or live action stuff, which is ridiculous, because for that channel, they're obviously just trying to jump on the bandwagon and trying to leech off the viewership of other networks that, quite frankly, I also think decayed. But whatever, they've seen some success, and I guess Cartoon Network was trying to replicate it. And of course, we all know that was the worst thing that Cartoon Network ever did. They learned their lesson, and I'm glad that they are turning back, that they're recovering on their programming. Although, there's some programming on there that's, I think, a step back. In general, Cartoon Network has been going in the right direction. So I applaud Cartoon Network for finally going at least in the general right direction. They're still got some stuff that I think should get off that network, but whatever. They're going in the general right direction. So because they're going in the general right direction in recent months, and it seems that they want to get their at least trying to target some of that viewership back that they used to have, that they lost because they neglected for so long. They're trying to at least target that again. You could tell by their programming that and of course they're definitely bringing in a whole new viewership. But for the most part, they're trying to target that unique viewership, those people that really wanted to see animated stuff and cartoons and stuff. They're trying to target those guys again. And bringing Toonami back makes sense if you want to do that. So, because of Cartoon Network seeming to want to try to get this new viewership and pretty much doing an overall better job than in, recent years, I think most people take these rumors very seriously because, Cartoon Network was doing, going in the right direction. Bringing Toonami back would only make sense. Now, the rumors aren't just based on this guy's Twitter saying that, yeah, there's going to be a big surprise on March 30th. Steve Blum, the voice of Tom, the voice of Tom 2, 3, and 4, he also said something of the sort like, oh, we haven't seen the last of Toonami or something like that. And of course that has been taken into account and all that, but whatever. Steve Blum, he said something like that. Toonami's not over or something. However, although I was, slightly optimistic about March 30th, because maybe there is something on Toonami or something about Toonami is going to be announced. I found out that there's going to be something that more likely what's going to happen is that there's this new block that Cartoon Network is launching, but it's still good news. It's not as good as Toonami coming back, of course, but it's still good news. This new block is going to be like, it's like going to be like a blast from the past, because the block is going to be showing like Dexter's Laboratory and Johnny Bravo and all those old cartoons that Cartoon Network used to have on in the early 2000s and late 90s, and they're going to rerun them. They're going to run them again on this new block. So, nevertheless, even if it's not Toonami, I still suggest you tune in, because they're still going to do something with old stuff, regardless of whether it's Toonami or not. So, they're going to do this new block where they're going to run stuff. So, overall, no, most likely Toonami's not coming back. However, I still cling. There is a very minute chance that something of Toonami might be announced. Not shown, but announced. But that chance is so small, but you know what? Anything that shows that could be potential sign of life for Toonami, I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I'm definitely going to... Whatever, it is that is going to be broadcasted on March 30th, most chances it's going to be good. So just stay, I suggest tune in. Even if it's not Toonami, and if it's this other block that's going to show classic shows, I think it's worth watching. So, who knows, if Cartoon Network sees that a lot of people are generating interest in older programming, if we tune into this like older block show, then maybe they might consider bringing Toonami back, But whatever. That's I said a long time ago, that Toonami wasn't coming back, and quite honestly, that's the way I've been thinking until I heard about this. But when I found out that it might not be Toonami and all that. I know. I didn't get my hopes up. Pretty much, I didn't get my hopes up that much, because I knew that there is always a chance that Toonami's not coming back, and most likely it'll never come back. But there is a sliver of possibility here, and that's why I think it's worth tuning in. And even if there isn't anything on Toonami, or not even anything announced from Toonami, maybe if, as I said, if we watch and they see that interest was being generated on older content, they might, consider the possibility of bringing Toonami back, considering the fact that Cartoon Network now is going, I think, in the right direction with a lot of things that they're doing on the network, and, actually showing animated stuff on their network. Even though they have taken a few steps back with some of their programming. But I will applaud Cartoon Network for at least moving in the general right direction. But yeah, it's gonna be on March 30th, 8 p.m. I suggest anyone, I suggest anybody who wants, like, likes the old programming that Cartoon Network provided for a long time, or wants to see if anything Toonami related will be announced, I think you should tune in. But also keep in mind that if any, there's a very small chance that Toonami is going to be, that anything about Toonami is going to be announced. So anyway, before I ramble too much, I'm Black and Fist, and stay gold.